The History of Halloween, Past and Present, Part 2. Are you brave enough to uncover the secrets behind this seemingly innocent holiday? Get ready to explore the shadows if you dare. Samhain, a doorway to the unknown. Imagine a time long ago when the days grew shorter and the nights longer, marking the end of the harvest season. For the ancient Celts, this wasn't just a change in weather. It was a powerful transition, a time they called Samhain. Samhain, celebrated around November 1st, was more than just a festival. It was a liminal period, a moment when the boundary between the world of the living and the other world, the realm of spirits and deities, blurred. Think of it as a doorway cracking open, allowing the veil between these two worlds to become incredibly thin. Spirits walk among us. The Celts believed that on Samhain night, the spirits of the deceased could walk among the living. These weren't just spooky ghosts, but ancestors returning home, guardian spirits watching over their descendants, and even potentially vengeful entities seeking retribution. Naturally, this prospect was both exciting and frightening. To protect themselves, the Celts employed various rituals. They built huge bonfires, their flames serving as beacons to guide benevolent spirits and ward off malevolent ones. Imagine the flickering light illuminating the faces of villagers gathered around, casting long, dancing shadows. Disguises and offerings. Another crucial practice was disguising oneself. People donned costumes and masks, often resembling animals or fearsome creatures. This wasn't just for fun, they believed it would confuse and deter any harmful spirits. Offerings of food and drink were also left outside homes, a gesture of appeasement for the wandering dead. This tradition likely evolved into the modern-day practice of trick or treating. The eerie, powerful and unpredictable. Central to Samhain were the eerie, a powerful race of supernatural beings in Celtic folklore. Think of them as fairies or nature spirits, but with a much wider range of abilities and temperaments. They were guardians of the other world, but also tricksters who could lead humans astray. On Samhain night, the eerie held even greater sway. Gifts were left for them to ensure their favor, and children were warned to stay close to home, lest they be lured away by these enigmatic beings. Druids and Divination. The Druids, the learned class of Celtic society, played a vital role in Samhain. They were the priests, the keepers of knowledge, and the interpreters of the gods' will. During Samhain, they would gather around the bonfires, seeking signs and omens in the flames and smoke. This was a time of divination, of looking into the future. The Druids sought answers about the coming year. Would it bring abundance or hardship? Their pronouncements held great weight within the community. Stories of the Otherworld. As the bonfires crackled and shadows danced, people would also share stories. These weren't just any tales, they were dark, captivating narratives about vengeful spirits, monstrous creatures, and the perils of the otherworld. The otherworld wasn't some distant, abstract place. It was a shadowed reflection of the human world, filled with both wonder and danger. A doorway to the past and future. Samhain was a pivotal moment in the Celtic year. It was a time to honor the dead, commune with spirits, protect against unseen forces, and seek guidance for the future. It marked the end of one cycle, the harvest, the light, and the beginning of another, a descent into the darkness of winter. The echoes of Samhain can still be felt in our modern Halloween celebrations. The costumes, the bonfires, the focus on the supernatural, these are all reminders of this ancient Celtic festival. A reminder that the veil between worlds can sometimes feel very thin indeed. The Roman influence, merging myths and rituals. The Roman conquest of Celtic lands brought with it not only legions and laws, but also a new pantheon of gods and a different set of customs. However, the Romans were masters of cultural assimilation. Rather than suppressing existing traditions, they often incorporated them into their own, resulting in a fascinating blend of beliefs and practices. Pomona and the eerie side of autumn. One example of this fusion is the connection between the Celtic festival of Samhain and the Roman goddess Pomona. Pomona was associated with orchards, fruit trees, and the abundance of the harvest. However, the Romans also acknowledged the darker side of autumn, the decay of ripe fruit, the falling leaves, as a reminder of life's fragility and its inevitable transition towards death. Under Roman influence, the apple, a prominent symbol of Pomona, found its way into Samhain rituals. Bobbing for apples, a game where participants try to catch apples floating in water, using only their teeth, became a popular activity. It was believed that successfully snatching an apple could grant a glimpse into the future, adding a touch of divination to the festivities. Feralia, a Roman day for the dead. Another Roman festival that resonated with Samhain was Feralia, a day dedicated to honoring the dead. Like Samhain, Feralia involved leaving offerings for deceased loved ones and whispering prayers for the souls believed to be wandering the earth. This shared focus on remembering and appeasing the dead further blurred the lines between the two cultures' traditions. A celebration of many masks. As Celtic and Roman cultures intertwined, their festivals and beliefs mingled. The Romans brought a sense of order and structure, but the Celts held on to their belief in the untamed forces of nature and the supernatural. Samhain, now infused with Roman mythology and customs, continued to evolve. It retained its eerie atmosphere and its focus on the otherworld, becoming a celebration of many masks, a vibrant tapestry woven from harvest rituals, spirit worship, and the veneration of both Celtic and Roman deities. This fusion of cultures enriched Samhain, adding new layers of meaning and symbolism to the already complex festival. It demonstrated the Romans' ability to adapt and incorporate existing traditions, while also highlighting the enduring power of Celtic beliefs in the face of imperial influence. The legacy of this cultural exchange can still be seen in our modern Halloween celebrations, a testament to the enduring fascination with the supernatural and the thin veil that separates our world from the realm of spirits. What's your favorite Halloween tradition, and do you know its origins? Share your spooky expertise. The Church's embrace, a Christian transformation. As Christianity spread throughout the British Isles, it encountered a deeply rooted tapestry of ancient customs and beliefs, including the Celtic festival of Samhain. The Church recognized that true conversion required more than just converting individuals, it also meant transforming existing cultural practices. This led to a fascinating process of Christianization, with Samhain at its heart. Strategic absorption, All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day. Rather than attempting to eradicate Samhain altogether, the Church adopted a clever strategy: absorption. In the 7th century, Pope Boniface IV established All Saints' Day, a feast dedicated to honoring Christian martyrs and saints. Originally celebrated in May, it was strategically moved to November 1st, coinciding with the traditional date of Samhain. This was no mere coincidence. By aligning All Saints' Day with Samhain, the Church aimed to redirect the existing Celtic focus on the supernatural towards Christian figures and concepts. They hoped to replace the veneration of pagan deities and spirits with the reverence of saints. To further solidify its hold, the Church also introduced All Souls' Day on November 2nd, a day specifically designated for praying for souls believed to be in purgatory. This provided a Christian framework for acknowledging and remembering the dead, a central aspect of the original Samhain celebration. All Hallows' Eve, a night of lingering traditions. Despite these efforts, the night preceding these new holy days, All Hallows' Eve, later shortened to Halloween, remained a liminal space where ancient beliefs persisted. The Church sought to sanctify this night, but the echoes of Samhain refused to be completely silenced. Halloween became a fascinating hybrid, a blend of Christian and pagan traditions. Bonfires continued to flicker, casting their mystical glow upon the night. Candles were lit, not just to honor saints, but also to guide lost souls. Children still roamed in disguise, but now they might dress as saints or angels alongside devils and goblins. A tapestry of duality. This period was marked by a curious duality. Reverence for the Christian holy dead coexisted with a lingering dread of the supernatural entities that haunted the fringes of the celebrations. Witches, demons, and restless spirits still populated the folklore and imagination of the people, finding their place within the evolving Halloween traditions. The Church's introduction of All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day didn't erase the fear associated with the supernatural. It simply reshaped it, giving it new forms and expressions within a Christian context. Halloween, as we know it today, stands as a testament to this complex interplay of cultural forces, a vibrant reminder of the enduring power of ancient traditions and their ability to adapt and transform in the face of changing religious landscapes. Medieval shadows, witches, ghosts, and divination. As the Middle Ages dawned, Halloween continued to evolve, embracing its dual nature as both a Christian observance and a night steeped in ancient folk traditions. The faithful would light candles inside their homes, offering prayers for the souls of the departed, while outside, bonfires raged, casting a flickering light on the shadowy landscape. People honored the dead, but they also harbored a deep-seated fear of the damned, the restless spirits who might roam the earth on this night. Souling, a blend of charity and ancient appeasement. The traditions of All Hallows' Eve blended seamlessly with existing folk customs, giving rise to practices like souling. Souling involved the poor, often children, going door to door offering prayers for the deceased in exchange for small cakes known as soul cakes. Each cake represented a soul released from purgatory, a concept deeply rooted in Catholic theology. While souling was sanctioned by the Church, it also echoed much older traditions of appeasing spirits with food offerings. It demonstrated the fascinating way in which Christian practices could intertwine with pre-Christian beliefs, creating a unique tapestry of cultural expression. Guising, from protection to playful entertainment. From souling emerged the practice of guising, a precursor to modern-day trick-or-treating. Children, cloaked in costumes and masks, would roam the streets at night, reciting verses or singing songs in exchange for treats. The guise or disguise served a dual purpose, entertainment and protection. Underlying the playful aspect of guising was the belief that disguises could ward off malevolent spirits. By adopting the appearance of otherworldly beings, children could potentially confuse or deter any wandering souls who might cross their path. Medieval folklore, a cast of supernatural characters. Medieval folklore further enriched the tapestry of Halloween, populating the night with a cast of supernatural characters. Witches, ghosts, banshees, female spirits who foretold death with their wailing, and spectral black dogs all became woven into the fabric of everyday life. These beings were both feared and in some cases venerated. People would leave offerings to appease them, carry charms for protection, and recite prayers to ward off their malevolent influence. Divination rituals, glimpsing the future. Halloween also became a time for divination rituals, attempts to peer into the future and unveil its secrets. Young maidens would peel apples, hoping that the unbroken peel would reveal the initial of their future husband. Others would gaze into mirrors, seeking a glimpse of their true love's face, or, perhaps more ominously, a vision of their own death. A liminal space, where sacred and profane meet. In the medieval imagination, Halloween remained a liminal space, a night poised between the sacred and the profane, the Christian and the pagan. It was a time when boundaries blurred, when the veil between worlds felt thin, and when the living and the dead could seemingly interact. This unique blend of religious observance, folk traditions, and supernatural beliefs shaped Halloween into the captivating and multifaceted celebration we know today. It continues to capture our imaginations, reminding us of the enduring human fascination with the mysteries of life, death, and the realm beyond. What's the scariest Halloween movie or TV show you've ever seen? Did it draw on any historical or folkloric elements? Halloween's American Journey, From Mischief to Merriment. When Irish and Scottish immigrants arrived in America during the 19th century, they brought with them their cherished traditions, including those associated with Samhain and Halloween. These ancient customs, steeped in folklore and the supernatural, found fertile ground in the New World, where they began to evolve in unexpected and fascinating ways. A shift in focus, from honoring the dead to celebrating the living. In America, Halloween gradually shifted its focus from solemnly honoring the dead to embracing the playful and festive aspects of the celebration. The immigrants' customs of souling and guising took root and flourished, transforming into the familiar practice of trick-or-treating. Children, dressed in costumes and masks, roamed the streets, knocking on doors and receiving treats, a far cry from the somber prayers and offerings of the past. Old world traditions find new life. Despite this shift in emphasis, echoes of the old world traditions persisted. Fortune-telling games utilizing apples and mirrors remained popular, particularly among young people eager to glimpse their future. Ghost stories, both imported from Europe and newly minted in America, were shared around crackling fires, blending ancient folklore with the emerging narratives of the New World. Mischief Night, a darker side emerges. However, Halloween in America also developed a darker side. The night became associated with mischief and pranks, often escalating into acts of vandalism and intimidation. Houses were egged, gates were removed from their hinges, and Mischief Night, the night before Halloween, became an outlet for youthful rebellion and a source of anxiety for many communities. Taming the wildness, a call for change. By the early 20th century, the pranks associated with Mischief Night had become increasingly destructive and disruptive, leading some towns to consider banning Halloween altogether. Recognizing the need for change, parents, teachers, and community leaders stepped in to transform the holiday's image and redirect its energy. Organizations like the Boy Scouts played a key role in this transformation, offering alternative activities that emphasized community and fun. Halloween parades, costume contests, pumpkin carving, and organized parties became popular ways to celebrate the holiday in a safe and positive manner. Haunted houses, carefully constructed and monitored, provided a controlled environment for experiencing the thrill of fear without the threat of real-life danger. Trick-or-treating, a structured approach to fun. Trick-or-treating, now widely embraced, offered a structured and supervised way for children to enjoy the excitement of Halloween. Instead of engaging in random acts of mischief, they could roam the streets in costume, collecting candy and treats from participating households. The modern face of Halloween, family, festivity, and controlled excitement. Through these concerted efforts, Halloween in America gradually evolved into the holiday we know and love today. It became a night for family fun, community engagement, and controlled excitement. The focus shifted from appeasing the dead to celebrating the imagination, creativity, and playful spirit of the living. Halloween's journey in America reflects the dynamic nature of traditions, their ability to adapt and transform as they cross cultural boundaries and encounter new social contexts. It demonstrates the enduring human fascination with the supernatural, even as the expression of that fascination evolves to meet the changing needs and values of each generation. The sweet seduction, candy, and the rise of trick-or-treating. As the unruly spirit of Mischief Night began to fade, a new, sweeter tradition emerged, trick-or-treating. This seemingly simple idea, offering children candy in exchange for good behavior, proved remarkably effective in curbing the destructive pranks that had plagued Halloween celebrations. The now iconic phrase trick or treat became a playful threat, a light-hearted ultimatum that presented a choice, a harmless prank or a sweet reward. This clever bargain struck a chord with both children and adults, paving the way for a more community-oriented and family-friendly Halloween experience. Post-war America, embracing community and simple joys. In the aftermath of World War II, American society yearned for a sense of community and a return to simpler pleasures. Halloween, with its emphasis on fun, costumes, and the burgeoning tradition of trick-or-treating, perfectly fit this need. Suburban neighborhoods, with their safe streets and friendly atmosphere, became the ideal backdrop for this increasingly family-centric celebration. The candy industry seizes the opportunity. The burgeoning popularity of trick-or-treating didn't go unnoticed by the candy industry. Recognizing a golden opportunity, candy manufacturers began to aggressively market their products for Halloween. Homemade treats, once the standard offering, gradually gave way to commercially packaged candy, conveniently portioned and readily available. Candy corn, with its festive autumnal colors, became a Halloween staple, alongside an array of chocolate bars, lollipops, and bubble gum. Clever marketing campaigns, featuring spooky imagery and playful slogans, further cemented trick-or-treating as an essential part of the American Halloween experience, transforming it into a billion-dollar industry. Halloween's sweet transformation. Halloween, once a night shrouded in ancient fears and otherworldly anxieties, had undergone a remarkable transformation. The ghosts and goblins of the past were now joined by a new spirit, the sweet indulgence of candy. Trick-or-treating, fueled by the candy industry's savvy marketing and the desire for a more family-friendly celebration, became the centerpiece of Halloween in America, shaping the holiday into the delightful and commercially driven spectacle we know today. This evolution highlights the dynamic interplay between cultural traditions and commercial interests, demonstrating how a simple act of offering candy can transform a holiday's meaning and reshape its cultural significance. Halloween's journey from a night of mischief to a celebration of sugary treats is a testament to the enduring power of sweetness to captivate our hearts and shape our collective experiences. How has Halloween changed throughout your lifetime? What traditions have faded away, and what new ones have emerged? The power of the screen, Hollywood, horror, and Halloween. As the candy bowls emptied and the sugar rush subsided, another powerful force stepped in to shape the landscape of Halloween media. Hollywood and television, recognizing the allure of fear and the enduring fascination with the supernatural, embraced the holiday with open arms, transforming it into a multimedia spectacle. From costumes and candy to shared stories of terror. By the mid-20th century, Halloween was no longer just about costumes and candy, it was about stories. Hollywood films, particularly the slasher genre, played a pivotal role in this transformation. John Carpenter's iconic film Halloween, 1978, epitomized this trend, turning the seemingly mundane setting of a suburban neighborhood into a terrifying landscape stalked by a masked killer. Monsters, ghosts, and masked figures like Michael Myers became Halloween icons, their chilling presence forever etched into the collective imagination. Television also played its part, offering a diverse range of Halloween-themed programming, from the heartwarming It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown to the chilling tales of the Twilight Zone. Screens, both big and small, flickered with images of haunted houses, shadowy cemeteries, and creepy creatures, transforming Halloween into a shared experience, a ritual of storytelling and collective shivers. Drawing on ancient roots, reimagining familiar fears. These media representations of Halloween didn't emerge in a vacuum. They drew inspiration from a rich tapestry of ancient folklore and traditions. The jack-o'-lantern, with its menacing grin, originated from Irish folklore about Stingy Jack, a cunning trickster who outsmarted the devil. Ghosts, once confined to medieval beliefs and whispered tales, became cinematic stars, their stories brought to life with the magic of special effects. Monsters, too, found new life on the screen. Vampires, werewolves, mummies, and zombies, all were reimagined and given fresh, often terrifying forms. Witches, once feared as real-life threats, underwent a complex transformation, appearing as both terrifying figures and campy caricatures. Haunted houses, blurring the lines between real and unreal. Haunted houses, both on screen and in reality, became integral parts of the Halloween experience. Elaborate sets and special effects created immersive environments that blurred the lines between the real and the unreal, allowing audiences to safely confront their deepest fears and indulge in the thrill of simulated danger. Media's enduring influence on Halloween. Media, with its ability to tap into our deep-seated anxieties and desires for entertainment, reshaped Halloween into a multifaceted reflection of both our darkest fears and our enduring fascination with the unknown. It transformed the holiday from a localized celebration rooted in ancient traditions into a global phenomenon, fueled by shared stories, iconic imagery, and the power of the screen to transport us to worlds both terrifying and thrilling. Halloween's ongoing evolution is a testament to the enduring power of storytelling and the ability of media to shape our cultural experiences, reminding us that the line between fantasy and reality can sometimes be delightfully and frighteningly thin. A night of enduring enchantment, past, present, and future. Over the centuries, Halloween has shifted and transformed with cultural changes. It began as Samhain, an ancient Celtic festival deeply connected to the spiritual world, when the boundary between the living and the dead was believed to blur. As Christianity spread, Halloween was blended with the Church's observance of All Saints' Day, creating a mix of spiritual reverence and fun. Today, Halloween is much more about entertainment, yet the eerie fascination with the unknown remains. Whether through ancient rituals or modern-day horror movies, Halloween continues to draw people into the mysterious, the supernatural, and the thrill of what lies just beyond our grasp. In its earliest incarnations, Halloween was a time for honoring spirits, appeasing the dead, and seeking protection from malevolent forces. As it evolved through the centuries, it embraced a more playful spirit, becoming a night of mischief and revelry. Today, it has blossomed into a global cultural phenomenon driven by consumerism, community engagement, and the shared thrill of confronting our fears in a safe and entertaining way. Despite its modern transformations, the ancient echoes of Halloween still resonate beneath the layers of candy and costumes. The flickering light of a jack-o'-lantern, the whispered thrill of a ghost story, the playful anonymity of a disguise, all these elements to the holiday's deeper roots and enduring symbolism. Halloween is more than just a night of fun and games. It's a time when boundaries blur, when ancient fears and anxieties resurface, and when the mysteries of life and death linger in the air like a haunting melody. As you celebrate Halloween, take a moment to appreciate its rich history and its remarkable journey through the centuries. It's a time to honor the traditions that have shaped the holiday, to acknowledge the shadows that lurk at the edges of our awareness, and to celebrate the eternal dance between light and dark, life and death. The night may be filled with laughter, costumes, and the sweet indulgence of candy, but the shadows still wait just beyond the reach of the bonfire's light, reminding us of the enduring power of mystery and the enduring fascination with the unknown that lies at the heart of Halloween's enduring enchantment. Is Halloween safe? Halloween in North America is a huge celebration. Costumes, candy, decorations, it's a fun time for everyone. But every year we also hear warnings about Halloween dangers. Is there any truth to them? Are those spooky stories just myths, or is there something real to worry about? The myth of tainted candy. One of the biggest Halloween fears is tainted candy. Stories of razors, needles, and poison hidden in treats are everywhere, especially around Halloween. But the good news is, these stories are incredibly rare. They're mostly based on anxiety and rumors, not actual events. In fact, there's no documented case of a child dying from Halloween candy that was tampered with by a stranger. Yes, there have been a few isolated incidents of people trying to harm children, but they're not the norm. And some tragic accidents involving candy have been wrongly blamed on Halloween hysteria. Debunking the myths. Let's look at a few examples. One early case involved a woman who gave out inedible items to teenagers she thought were too old to trick or treat. While her actions were definitely not okay, they weren't meant to cause serious harm. There have also been sad cases of children dying after eating candy, but these were usually linked to family members, not strangers. Unfortunately, these tragedies were sometimes wrongly blamed on Halloween scares. And while there have been some reports of razors or needles found in candy, None of them have ever led to a death. Many of these cases turned out to be hoaxes or pranks. The real danger on Halloween night. So, if tainted candy isn't the big threat, what should we actually be worried about on Halloween? Believe it or not, the real danger is cars. Kids are much more likely to be hit by a vehicle on Halloween night than any other time of year. They're excited, often running across streets in dark costumes, and drivers might not see them in time. Staying safe on Halloween. So, what can we do to stay safe? Well, kids and parents need to be extra careful when crossing streets. Drivers need to be alert and drive responsibly, especially in residential areas. As for the candy, while the threat is mostly a myth, it's still smart to check your treats. Throw away anything that looks suspicious, like a wrapper that's been opened or torn. If you see anything truly concerning, report it to the police right away. It's also a good idea to avoid homemade treats from strangers. Stick to commercially packaged candy from brands you recognize. And use your common sense when approaching houses. If something feels off, it's best to skip that house and move on. Did we miss any fascinating facts about this spooky celebration? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this journey into Halloween's past, be sure to subscribe and share this video with your fellow history buffs. Thanks for watching.